welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SkimPod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, where we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum 216,
Lunchbox 2099,
The Real ODP.
And I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrell 713.
Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy.
She ran out the house like, fuck it, I'm leaving. He ran out after her like, fuck is the meaning. Went through his phone and found texts from all his exes. Threw it at him like, fuck was you thinking? Way down in his stomach, he's getting that sinking. Feeling he felt 20 years before when his pop set him down and told him and his mom's was divorcing. Now he's doing the same. Running through these hoes with no proper decorum. Not a pretty picture. Unsettled. Misery, he would say his pop was a dog. Now ain't that the pot calling a kettle nigga? Every player dreams of leaving the game. Straight walking out. The allure of new pussy is cool, but when it's over, what the fuck you got to talk to? Such an empty feeling. You win or you lose. Wifey told him, it's them or me, and baby, you better choose. Hey. Hear it? All right, just let that play for a little bit.
Aggressive. You gotta do my baby man. Aggressive. Hello and welcome to the Stays Crunchy and Milk podcast. This is episode 1. I am your host T, the Internet's Tayrell 713. With me, the entire Skim crew. We have Wild Wade, the motorboating madman. Chesterfield Rockwell, aka Chess Rockwell.
That's me.
And rounding out the crew, we have the master of the claw machine dark arts, Lunchbox.
It's going down. You hooser? No, you're a hooser.
You're a hooser. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not all about.
I don't know.
You're not my friend, guy.
You know, I spent a
Hey
$1.24.
guys, you're being too mean to each other. Calm down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As you can see, this is the direction we're going to take this week.
All hockey all day.
Hockey, indeed, hockey all
I
day.
love ice soccer.
It is the hockey playoffs. You know, none of us know about hockey.
I
We
don't.
can talk about
The
basketball.
NHL playoffs.
We all sounded so young.
Yeah, especially you, T. Your voice is totally different now. All that
Holy shit.
all that hard smoking.
Well, hello and welcome to it. It's Stays Crunchy and Milk. It's episode 445, and we have been making this show for 9 years. This is the show for the week. This is the show for the week of May 16th, our birthday, 2022. And I'm joined by my best friends. It's Tatum 216.
Howdy ho, neighborino.
It's Lunchbox 2099.
I showed up.
Again.
I know.
And on the humble,
Now
in
with
the
more
dark
brown
hair?
eye.
Is the RV in Puerto Rico's my homeboy Gabe, deep in the dark here. Is he still there? Are you still there, Gabriel?
I am still here, coming to you live from the home state of Dorothy, a fictional character.
That's what's up. Tonight has been a night of tech issues. I got to tell you that. But I had to get that. I had to play that little clip, and I'll probably, like I said, we talked about. I'll probably throw that episode up for all you guys, just to have on the actual day of our show's birthday, so it'll be out there for the world. Ooh, I want to share with y'all one other thing.
Okay.
Me sharing screens.
Sharon's
just
Karen.
Proving to be problematic, but here I'm gonna throw up It's the OG. The original show art, the original description of the show. I'm going to read this to you, all my listeners. Welcome to episode 1 of Stage Krunchy and Milk podcast. So, what's this show and site about? Well, the podcast is ostensibly a representation of what we all discuss at lunch on any given day, mixed with pop culture and the occasional trivia question, which could win you a prize.
Wow.
What it actually is? Well, there's 4 cats sitting around shooting the shit for an hour or so. There will be recurring segments that there may be something here this week that's not here, that's not next, as we get our footing and figure out what works and doesn't. Let us know what you think. The show Twitter is live at SkimPod, SKIMPOD, as is our email, stagecrunchyandmilk@gmail.com. That email address no longer works. Hope you enjoy the program. the first one and going forward, let's build. Thanks, Taro713. First of all, I didn't realize I called myself the Internet Taro713 on that first episode. It's a name I do use, of course, because that's what I refer to myself as, the Internet's Taro713. I didn't realize I've been using that shit for at least 9 years. So that was already kind of fun. I just been poking about, grabbing stuff left and right, throughout the day here as I prepare for this particular show.
I would like to say that I'm glad we don't have that type of energy anymore. That was like us, like the I guess being on.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't do that anymore.
But also, it was the second episode. Everybody like, we got to do another one. You know what I'm saying? So it was already exciting. Exciting times. We recorded in the microphone that I think Box might still be using right now, though he has a better microphone that he has yet to set up. Correct?
Both of those statements are correct.
So it's not called the snowball. It's called something else. The ice ball. What is that one called?
It's the
little guy.
Snowball.
It is a snowball.
Yeah,
so it's the blue.
Yeah. No, it's the snowflake. It's the smaller one. The snowball is the one I bought you, and that's the one Ant using. Ant using the snowball.
Let's see what my computer says.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a blue snowflake. You're right.
Yeah. So it's a smaller version. We recorded with this little bitty microphone the Box had to bring and make sure he brought. Because we used to come to my house to record. Everybody used to come to my house to record. And if Box grabbed the microphone,
I don't think I ever forgot it. Did I?
Yes, that's why. I think you forgot only one time, and then after that, I think that's when T was like, it's not your responsibility to bring it, and then that's when you got microphone.
Didn't I forget it? And then I had to drive all the way out to my house to get it, which, like, at that point, I didn't live anywhere near T, so I had to hurry after work, go home, get the microphone, and then come. Oh yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then, man, it was like a fucking 35-minute drive to get back home from where you live.
I feel like it feels even further just as I look at it in my mind's eye to get out to that house, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
There was no good way about it because it was like I would have had to zigzagged highways and shit, or driven on main roads, which take forever.
Yeah. So this show started with a plum. We made a point to say, hey man, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this with regularity so we don't fuck up. And we got it going. And I felt like we was on cruise. And then we weren't. Because one of us was like, nah, I ain't coming no more. And that's no disrespect to Wild Wild Wade, the motorboating madman, still the homie. I talk to him regularly every day. But he just didn't want to do no show no more. But it's not that he was like, fuck you and your show. It was more that he had another friend who wanted to be down with the show. And we was like, nah, brother, you don't really ride with us like that. You don't ride with us like, because we you know what I'm saying, we pretty tight. You know what I'm saying? And we had a specific vibe. We had a specific way we did shit and hung and so forth. And we didn't want an additional person at that point in time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we could be fair though. Like, I showed up and I basically like elbowed that dude out of the group, if we're being honest. Like, not like fully out, but I definitely like jumped him in the power rankings. And that I think was part of the problem.
Yeah, I can allow for that. And that's just Wade had to be loyal. You know what I'm saying? That's his homeboy from, like, you know, childhood.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with y'all. Like I said, again, I talk to that man every day to this day. That's the homie. But, you know what I'm saying? If it's going to be me, this guy you've known for X amount of time, or, your childhood friend, you're going to pick your childhood friend. And he did. And so he left. And that's okay.
I understand him choosing his friend, but his friend was, I thought he was okay, but he was kind of creepy, sort of, and like he didn't have like our sensibilities and our layer of thick skin. Because I remember his friend got mad that I did a British voice, and the British voice I did, it was just like of him being a nice. It was of him being a nice guy and forgetting to do other things because he would rather work and be a nice guy. And he got mad about being a nice guy in a joke.
Yeah.
So, and not to mention, it was hilarious. It was the best bit ever. No, I don't know if it was the best bit ever, but
it was a solid bit.
Yeah, it was just like good-natured ribbing at most, and he hated that shit.
Yeah.
He also just wasn't like a funny conversationalist. It was like sometimes you'd be talking to him and he'd like stare at you oddly, and it would have been hard to do a podcast with someone like that.
I just saw him recently.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw him recently, and yep, that description still stands.
Oh wow!
So I was like, you really don't want to?
Like on top of the fact that, like you said, he was very sensitive to like ribbing and whatnot, which like in order to do this, I feel like you have to be able to just like roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, over the years, we've had conversations that took each other out of our comfort zones, and I can't imagine like taking him out of his comfort zone, and we still got 45 minutes to go during the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like I said, I like the guy, but you know what? That's not what we did. We decided to, like, and shit. We still went a whole shit because that was at the beginning. We still went another fucking 9 years because that was just the first year,
And
the first couple episodes.
Yeah,
So,
9 years and counting.
who was laughing now?
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess nobody will laugh. But
Yeah.
we're still doing it.
October of that year, my homeboy, everybody's homeboy, but my homeboy in particular, that's really my guy. It's my man Gabriel. Was just like, I fuck with this shit, bro.
Right,
I'm like, you want to come watch us record one? And he was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, imagine that. T brought a guy to his house to sit on this project that we did that I'd never met. My anxiety was through the roof.
You would have never known it.
You met me before.
It was all
We went to
inside.
lunch.
No, yeah, you have met him a ton of times before then. Because
It couldn't have been a ton. I had only been there a year, so like maybe like a couple, but like
so.
All
I
right,
didn't like know him.
Okay, at least 12 times because because he
A
went
few
to lunch with us
times.
every
A few
Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's be honest. I wouldn't have put up a fight with like whoever you guys wanted to bring in as the fourth, because like,
No. See, that's the story I'm telling. It wasn't intentional to bring Gabriel in as a fourth. I brought Gabriel because he was like he wanted to see us make the show.
Yeah, because we like T said before, we did 2 episodes. We like George Clooney, we did one for us and then we did one for you. But no, so Gabe is just like, sitting there watching us record. Like it was so sweet how he was trying to be so polite and he didn't want to laugh and he didn't want to comment. And like that first episode, he was, we were like, I'm not gonna even say we. I'm gonna say I was asking him questions and shit, and he was just like, being nice and like, and then like he said a couple things, and then like that second episode was like, fuck it, just get on this next one, and then the next one he was on.
It's hard to just like have someone sit there, like almost like a studio audience or some shit. That's like a guest of guest of one, only person there. They're not allowed to talk, and then like you could see like he wanted to chime in and everything. Like he was kind of like
he wrote stuff on a notebook.
Yeah, he was writing down notes. Yeah,
It was like a
pad of paper.
It was like a jittery puppy, you know, like he was so excited and he wanted to play fetch, and then Anthony just started lobbing the ball and he just went with it.
Because even before then, it was just like, I mean, he had won dollar store trivia. Like he
Yeah.
was like what I would
I
like.
did.
I always said it's like our historian. Like he was just like, I like this part, and like it would be hilarious and him just like having not only somebody, I mean, that me and T knew for years, but then like who knew us as people.
Well,
Um, he only knew Dan from 5 different lunches, but but
See how
like
quickly we went from 12 to 5.
I mean, 5 just sounded funny. But
It's probably like 3.
I know he was there. I knew he was there that time. You got a bratwurst on a burger at that burger place that was gone.
Hey,
Oh, the place on was it 9th?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
was
What's
it
that, Burger
Pickle?
5?
Yes.
It was Burger 9.
Oh,
Yes,
Burger
Okay, it
5,
was a
yeah.
burger with a number following that shit. That's what that shit was. Burger with a number following it.
And then
So next day, because we still record on Thursday. We used to record on Thursdays, then we record on Thursdays now. We linked up and I asked question, yo, what do you think, man? I'm saying, you think you you think he would be a good fit for the show? Because it's just something about 4. It works, and when it's not 4, sometimes it's fun, but 4 works for us, and it works. I don't know why it works. It just does, but 4 works for us.
I think one of our best episodes ever. It was just me and Gabe talking about family matters.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes of all time.
I had a blast on that one.
Yeah. And the gentleman signed off on it, and I made the offer to Gabriel, and he was down. Was it
Yep.
pre-children? Do you have a child? You have to have a child. Yeah, you have a 10-year-old at this point. So you had a 1-year-old.
I had
At that
2
point.
children at the time.
How does that math work? Really?
2 babies.
You had to have a baby. Then he was a baby,
Well, this
right?
Yeah, he's a baby.
Yeah. So
He was October, so he was 5 months old.
yeah, so he's itty bitty. So I'm saying it is a bit of an ask to ask a man with 2 children, 2 very small children, and a wife at home, be like, yo, come through here once a week after work, and come just kick it with us and shoot the shit. But he did, and he did as best he could, and then he knocked his wife up another time, and then he knocked it over a second time after that, because he just can't keep it in his pants. But through that, because Gabe would take breaks if he was when he was making new babies. He would at least be like, look, man, I gotta, what I'm saying, I can't come kick it. I gotta help at home. It'll be a problem. But despite it all and through it all, like even right now, Gabriel is in a real fucked up recording situation. But here he is.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike at our birthday show.
I had to be here. I had to. I was talking about it all day. Like, this is the ninth episode. Ninth year episode. This is the 9-year anniversary. I got to make it. We're gonna do this. And I left a somewhat befuddled wife at home. I said, all right, it's time. I gotta go. It's like, fine, go. Like, what do you want me from me? I told you all day this is going down.
Not only that, she texted me herself, and we did tech talk. We did a tech run through this earlier today. She has your back on this. She might be a little grumpy or whatever because it's like, but she definitely was she definitely was doing her part to make sure this went down. So don't you even trip, man, because the reality of it is like I said, we can't be doing it without her support. Can't be doing this without a lot of our people's support, and it's fucking dope, man. So.
True.
Yeah. I like the history of our show. I like our show in general. I'm a guy who listens to this show with a bit of regularity. I am the one who edits this. Okay, I do. It is nothing behind the scenes that I don't do. But I feel okay about that.
Pretty
I've
much.
always
We
felt
just
good
show
about
up and
that.
talk shit.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
if T told me tomorrow that I couldn't do this with you guys anymore, I'd have to be like, all right, well, that's fair.
I don't think I need that kind of juice. But good to know.
I mean, like, I have like the Twitter account on my phone, and like you are like the only one who replies to anybody, and then I have the Instagram account. That's it. I don't have access to anything else. It'd be a clean break for you.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine it. Don't do that to me. That hurts my heart a little bit, just even thinking about it.
I know. Miss you.
Sir, how dare you? But so yeah, I'm the guy who basically runs this operation. If I guess if we were throwing titles, I'm the CEO of Good Time Charlie, which is what we call our production company. But also, I guess that I don't know. But
Yeah, like you would be like the CFO. Anthony would be like the creative director. I would be whatever the lowest possible, while still being respected, like authoritative figure would be.
well,
Security guard.
you get the sweet ass title of founder, which is always dope. You know what I'm saying? So, because like I said, that comes with a sprinkle
true.
of juice. You know what I'm saying? A little something, something. So, I just
You don't think you rank higher than me?
No, because you have more enthusiasm than I do.
Oh,
whereas you naturally rank higher than him, as like I said, you are a founder.
I mean, technically, yes, but like I'm just saying, as far
Technically,
as
is all
like,
I got, baby. But
well,
I
Gabe
just
be like a Steve Jobs then, because he's not a founder, but yet he got some weight.
that's not
Yeah.
not Steve Jobs was a founder. Steve Jobs,
No,
Wozniak,
who's the
and
guy who was screaming on stage?
that's
oh, that's
Steve
the guy.
Ballmer. That's a different company.
That's Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
Owner of the
Yeah, those are
the LA
Clippers.
Clippers.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Did Steve Jobs find Pixar too?
Steve Jobs did help. I think he was just. I think he's a. Yeah, I think he's listed as a founder of Pixar.
Oh, well, that's
So,
what I get for not watching.
I never seen
cartoons.
either of his movies. I didn't see this Ashton Kutcher one or the Michael Fassbender one.
I
I
saw
don't
the
care
one.
about.
I saw the one with Magneto.
That's Fassbender.
I don't care about Steve Jobs enough to be trying to watch a movie about his existence. From all I know is apparently he's was kind of a dickbag and a dirtbag. So thanks for my phone. That's about it, buddy.
I mean, most geniuses get labeled like that. Look at Elon Musk now.
I mean, my man grew up in apartheid South Africa. I'm gonna go with dirtbag
Cradle
just by
of
born.
civilization.
But so we got this party started in May of 2013. I had only not even yet. Me and Vanessa were not official girlfriend boyfriend yet on our first episode.
She was just helping.
No, actually, I think me and her just became official boyfriend girlfriend. Like we made it like a Facebook official on like maybe a week before that. Like I said, not even she had just got back from no, that can't be right because she went to Germany.
And that's why she
Because and she went to Germany and we couldn't get an episode. I had to learn how to edit because she was in Germany, and we didn't become boyfriend and girlfriend until she got back from Germany. So yeah, you're right. I was right. We were not even boyfriend and girlfriend, official boyfriend girlfriend yet. She was my lady.
What was it about Germany that made? What was it about Germany that made her come back and say you're my man?
She had to go talk to her best friend. And be like, hey man, should I be with this dude or not?
Oh.
Quite literally. So, and her best friend gave her blessing, and we've been riding there since.
Did her best friend meet you prior to that blessing?
No, her best friend at that point was in the Air Force in Germany.
So this best friend would have blessed anybody.
Possibly, but I think they know each other well enough and have known each other since they were like 5. that they kind of have a vibe and an instinct with each other. So can't call it, man. Won't call it.
I would like to think that Tyrell's a little more special than that.
I'm not trying to downplay his specialness, but I'm just like, she didn't meet you. She didn't know who you were. Like, just like, what was she really blessed?
It wouldn't be Lunchbox if he, or it wouldn't be Dan if he didn't play the devil's advocate.
I know I'm like shitting on like a heartfelt moment, but like that's funny.
Relax, me. I'm not worried about it or upset about it or taking it back. It's cool, bro. Maybe. You know, so,
It's too late now.
I'm picturing it being like a kid asking like their parents if they could like do something, and the parents not paying attention. They're just like, whatever. I'm watching the game. Go away. Like, I'm over here in Germany. Go date who you want.
hey. Yeah, can't call. I did meet her.
I do remember when she came back. And she had that bottle of absinthe, and we went to that birthday party at that house where dude's sister was pulling out her chesticles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was
I like titties. I like titty stories.
I mean, who doesn't love titties?
Basically, there was like a huddle. We got to this birthday party, and there was a huddle of all the men folk were pulled to the side, and we were explicitly told to not make an attempt to sleep with this person's sister. And I was very confused because usually this isn't kind of behavior that doesn't need to happen. And then the sister showed up, and I understood. She was a very free spirit who was very loose with her clothing.
Now, happily married, couple of kids.
See, no, that's the whole like don't think about pink elephants thing. Like, you gonna tell me not to sleep with this woman, and now that's like, well, why are you telling me that? Should I be sleeping with this woman? What am I missing out on? If they didn't say anything, I think the intrigue wouldn't have been there.
Well, and the whole thing for me too is I don't think I had met this person until that day.
Yeah, you didn't know that guy.
Yeah, I'd never met that dude before. I was at his house for this party, so I didn't know him. I didn't know this sister. I didn't know those people. I was there because it was a birthday party being thrown for somebody else that I knew.
The guy we was talking about earlier.
Exactly. So like I'm having this stranger that I'm just now meeting telling me not to like try and bone his sister or sister-in-law or whoever she was, and it was a very odd way to meet somebody.
I wasn't there, but I do remember that it was your ex roommate. He showed his nipple ring, so she showed hers.
And I do remember that because I remember driving him home that night.
Yeah. What a weird. That's when y'all was like still cool.
I was living at his house.
Not just that, but y'all relationship really went through it. You know what I'm saying? It's weird that y'all not. It's not weird because this is what it is. Time changes, but it's like that was the homie. You know what I'm saying? And so he would be with you at a party that we went to.
People just grow apart, and like I just got to a point where like I needed to go my separate ways, and no ill will, but like
for sure,
it is what it is.
Yeah. What a weird time.
But yeah, man, Red Thunder was there too.
I'm hung up on this whole like, don't sleep with my sister thing. Like, I would have said, bro, is your sister a grown woman? Well, then what's gonna happen is gonna happen, buddy. That's what I would have said. But hey, that's just me.
I'm telling you right now. As I sat there in the experience, I was like, "Oh yeah, some of these motherfuckers could have fucked this chick easily." And I was like, "That's kind of dope when you think about it, but also kind of like, oh, I see why my man had to give a heads up. Like, it's my sister-in-law, my wife trying not to have her, out here on the stroll, and y'all motherfuckers is up in here, man." It's like, yeah, bro, I'm not worried about it. That's my lady over there, and I'm, saying our relationship is, still in the newish side.
She definitely would have slept with my buddy.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
He should have done it.
Again, once you just pull your titties out to all, I feel bets is off the table at that point. You know what I'm saying? Or on the table? I don't know. It's time to bet.
I think though my buddy had just started seeing somebody.
So
that's why he wouldn't have done it. But if he wasn't seeing somebody, I'm sure he would have done it.
Correct. Yeah.
Because he's the type of guy who wouldn't give a shit about what some stranger tells him not to do. So if some woman was throwing something at him, it would have been fuck that dude. I don't care.
Yeah, which is why I think that's the point, Gabriel. I think no matter what was said, if it was going down, it was going down, and that's just what it was.
Okay,
like
good.
CeeLo. It's going
I don't know why I'm
down
invested in this.
tonight.
It's okay. It's okay.
As a guy who once told a guy like, "Hey, I'll take your sister."
Oh my god. Oh my god, Ant-Man.
Like,
What
Like to
Oh,
dinner,
no, go ahead. Go ahead,
on
go
a
ahead.
date, like to his bedroom, like take her where?
Down.
You don't remember this story?
I forget a lot of
We were drunk at
stories.
Bowling Green, and that's all right. It's probably behind the paywall, so I'll give it away for free. We're drunk at Bowling Green. This guy goes walking down the street with these two ladies. They're both attractive. We start talking them up, and I, being a gentleman, says, "Hey, this guy might have something going on with these ladies. Let me go talk to him." And I say to him, "Hey, you got something going on with these two girls, or can we have one of them? What's going on?" And he's like, "Well, one of them's my girlfriend, and one of them's my sister." So I'm like, "All right, I'll go for your sister."
Man, you used to have some hella liquid courage back in the day, Gabe.
Especially the way you phrase that. Of, can we have one of them?
I'd like to borrow one of these ladies if you are so inclined, gentle sir.
You mind if I
Assuming
come
that we
down
have
here and sing to you?
Yeah, this shit sounded like a wafer ad there for a second.
Oh no. man.
Now, what were you
I'll
asking
gladly
me,
play
T?
you Tuesday for a hoe today.
I was just saying, if you have any particular memories of us of this operation that you care to share with the
The
listening
early
audience.
days. I know we reminisce a lot, talk about it, but like we can't forget about the Dominic. We can't forget about that, which was a large. Was it extra large
Nah, that's just large stuffed crust,
stuffed
Yeah.
crust pizza with
extra cheese.
extra cheese, Alfredo sauce?
Yeah, Jesus
Um,
Christ.
it was delicious. It was right before Pizza Hut got bad, and
We
then their
so
cheese
Mm.
started just like paper.
I forgot about that little portion program. We would because we was all coming to my house, we get food, That was the whole operation. Was like, all right, somebody grab some pizzas and we'll just kick it, eat, and produce
Yeah,
a couple episodes.
Yeah, because at that time, I think I took the job in the other department, and I was working the later shift. So like, I didn't have time to go home and eat dinner, so I always had to grab something and bring it to your house.
Yeah.
I remember when you went vegetarian for a while and you used to stop at Penn Station to get the veggie sandwich.
The
Yeah,
artichoke John. Yeah,
I still eat that from time to time. Like I like meat, but
That's
like
good
I am
salad.
also one of those people who doesn't like hate vegan food or vegetarian food or whatever. Like I have no problem with vegetables and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't eat too many vegan things, but I'll fuck some falafel up every once in a while. I do
God
like
damn, I
some
want falafel so bad.
it's this one place that's not too. I mean, it's at the new Shaker Chagrin area. They got
Mm-hmm.
some damn good falafel, and their tzatziki tastes shit. It's just let's just face it, it's ranch. They and it's you know it tastes just like Wingstop almost, but like it tastes almost like Wingstop. But
Respect it.
yeah, early days, like I do remember like as we've been reminiscing about the last couple of weeks about trying to write stuff down, trying to be funny. I really don't feel like because I mean, I'm just a dad now. I don't really like have too many funny stories with about me anymore. It's mostly shit, that's happening with my kids or, um, I mean, we work from home. Our lives have changed so drastically in these damn near a decade.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that like one like we never had no falling outs between us. Like we've always like kept it, show focused. Um and like our personal relationships have always maintained and gone well throughout
Yeah.
this. Um I don't know, like other than like the one sticking point where Dan always saying, I didn't name I don't I don't know why the show got named that and
I mean, I understand at this point why the show got named that, but we all fully have admitted that I wasn't a part of naming it. Not that
yeah.
I care, but for record keeping, I was not a part of naming it.
Not that I care, but I ain't named that shit.
I
I
mean,
mean
like, back when it first happened, I didn't understand it, and
I mean
I was like, why would we name ourselves that? And like, there's still a part of me that's like, I don't get it, but I know where it came from.
I mean, it was funny because it was me and T in our personal chat at work, and he was just like, "Man, what should we name the show?" And I was just like, I might have said something else before that,
She had a
but I
park
was
all
like,
cast, which a name we kept.
and
You did put
then I was like, "Stage Crunchy and Milk." I don't know why I said it. I just did. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know why I typed it. I just did. And it was just like, and it was kind of like when you tell your mother, I want McDonald's for dinner, and you because you know she not gonna say yeah, and then she's like, yeah, fuck it, yeah, let's go get some McDonald's. That's how it went because I didn't know that was gonna be the name of the show. I just said it, and then T was just like, you know what, that is a good name.
Yeah, I remember like he just messaged me. He's like, "All right, the show's called this," and I was like, "Okay."
so I enough. I had to take like I said, the motorboat madman, and he said
Which
I
I
only
also
agree.
named him that.
Yeah, correct. He said I'll only agree to it if we can spell crunchy with a K so it can abbreviate to skim. And I was like, psh, bet. Because I just thought skim milk, it worked as a total gag. So I fuck with it all the way up.
Even though none of
So
us like skim milk.
I like skim
I
milk.
don't. Yeah, I don't like the viscosity of it.
I
I drink
mean
almond
I
milk.
just yeah.
That ain't milk.
Not even coconut milk, eh?
Nah, I like almond milk better.
So,
It's like it does such a number on the environment, just the production of almonds, and then the production of
Oh,
the almond milk is just like it's like can't fuck with it. That's me. I can't fuck
I
with
forgot. I forgot
it.
that fucks up the environment. Damn it! Now I feel bad.
you should. Anywho, another legendary thing about our show is the fact that Gabe keep on saying that ice cream cake is cake. That used to be a whole big thing that we talked about a whole lot.
It still pisses me off to this day.
Pisses you off, huh? They call it cake, and
People do all kinds of
then it
things that
got
they should.
Just like they
and
call
then collateral
sweet
damage.
bread.
Then cheesecake had to suffer collateral damage because we found out that cheesecake ain't cake either.
Cheesecake is cake. It's just a different type of cake.
We also,
Cheesecake is so good that it skipped from being a pie to go directly to cake. It's just like cheesecake is like the Doogie Howser of desserts.
Too smart for its own good. What you about to say, Box?
I was gonna say, we also had some characters that we've created over the years. It's like kind of like this is like a variety show. There's Hitachi Wan.
I love the Tachiwan.
Was it Horatio Magellan or something like that?
The inventor of the Oreo. no. So Captain Crunch's real name is Horatio Magellan Crunch. If you ever know
Fred?
that.
Mhm.
So we just took the name. We just took the name.
Fred.
Horatio Oreo. I think is what we ended up coming up with because we started reviewing Oreos. We started reviewing Oreos probably like a few episodes in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Because the
watermelon.
watermelon Oreos came out of Target. Yeah, the watermelon Oreos came out of Target. We was like, oh, we got to try these hoes. And them bitches was hitting. God damn, I still think about them cookies. So that's a while. We'll get around to the cookie chat here shortly.
Fred, the food scientist, and his wife yelling
Chips
at him.
Ahoy Jenksons.
Yeah.
Fred
That's why
Chips
you-
Ahoy Jenkins.
Yeah, that's why you're the historian, Gabe.
Because at the time they were also making funky ass Chips Ahoy too. So we had to, you know what I'm saying? We had to like we would test those as well before we finally just said, all right, look, bruh.
Yeah, but like Chips
Yeah,
Ahoy,
we gotta
hasn't
wrangle
really
it in.
had
We
any-
gotta.
They ain't had nothing good though. When's the last time y'all bought a Chips
No,
Ahoy?
Chips Ahoy really didn't. Chips Ahoy
When
didn't really knock
quarantine
it out the
started?
park like Oreo.
I bought a pack of Chips Ahoy when quarantine started, and I haven't bought any since. We used to talk about ripping the stocking.
Don't let my stockings miss the game.
Which I did.
That's a game specific bit too, which is kind of cool, you know? That's one of the earlier game specific bits.
I had never seen that movie either until quarantine.
Oh wow, really? That's amazing. And I bet, did you crack up when you finally heard it? We've like seen it in real life.
It was well played.
Yeah, that's a really good movie though.
And
Yeah, that's another thing that we used to go through a lot, like talking about, like I'll talk about a movie and then y'all be like, I didn't see that. And then,
yeah, but you were the movie guy. Like you had the movie collection. You used to go to the theater all the time.
Yeah,
I was in like my mid-20s, man. I was still like going to see Disney movies.
Man,
I still watch Disney movies to this day.
man, like honestly, when they put on Disney movies, like I'd be fucking checking out because I never really watched those movies. And like honestly, they watch them so much, like I'll start, getting into them then, like by the second or third watch. Because man, we watched a ton of Encanto, like for
Oh
a
my gosh.
while. Like Emery was watching that shit like on the daily, sometimes twice a day.
I remember too, when you first had your first kid, we used to record on Sunday mornings.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember, like, I was living in the same city as T, a couple streets over at that time, and I remember like hustling out of the apartment at like 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings to get over to T's house to do the show. Because like it was too hard for you to do like Thursday night after work, so we like moved it to Sunday mornings for a while.
Yeah, I ruined the show quite a few times.
No,
Yeah,
I
no
think
more than
I
I
think
did.
that, I think that's something like that I think is way dope about. We have roll with it, man. If some things change, we like, all right, let's try it this way. It's like for whatever reason we have just said, let's keep going. I truly don't know why. I mean, let me say, it's not like we out here. We trust me. It costs me more than we make off of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never like pulling down. I'm not pulling down stacks of dough or anything off of it. I get super grumpy when I see motherfuckers doing what we doing and blowing up off of it. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I think it's always just maintained a reason for all of us to have a reason to do something together at least once a week.
yeah,
Yeah.
and And I mean, like, sure, to a degree, but it's like, I don't know. But why we keep doing the show? Like, we can see each other every week. We can make it a point or whatever.
I don't
What
think
is
we
about
would though.
this?
And like, I don't mean that like we wouldn't be friends or anything, but
Mhm.
you know how it is. Like when you don't have something on the schedule concrete, then it's like it becomes like, oh, well, I can't make it this week, or oh, we're doing this or whatever. Like, I mean, perfect example before the show. Like, and I know you guys haven't bailed, but like just last week, we were all like, it made it seem like, oh man, we're gonna do Atlanta together, and then like I talk about it today, and it's like, oh well, we might not be able because of this, and it's like, and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's how life
That's just
goes.
life. Yeah.
And so it's like if we didn't have this specific thing that we all committed to, that we guarantee show up for each week, or at least we do so within reason. Obviously, things come up time to time, but we make do. But we have this thing that it's a thing that we've all committed to, that we all continue to show up. If there wasn't a thing, if it was just all of us, it would be more free, and then people would just come and go as they chose, and then life would get in the way. Like, we make time for this.
Yeah. My question is, why? Why do we do that?
It's fun.
I,
Yeah.
No doubt.
it's
And,
fun.
like, I think we like each other enough to want to talk to each other because, like, we save. Like, we do talk during the week, but we save this for the show. We save talking to each other for the show. Like, yeah, like sometimes I forget about shit I'm supposed to tell y'all because, like, oh yeah, I'm saving it for the show. Then we start talking about something else, and that's just how life goes with us. But
It has been many a time I've been prepared to like, I was going to say this on the show and forget all about it. That shit just be gone from my brain. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. I'm supposed to talk about that.
And then you be like, I told y'all about that, right? I lost my big toe. I'm like, oh shit. No, man, you ain't tell us what you lost your big toe. I thought I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone through multiple recording shifts, multiple like free formats.
Yeah.
It's just this thing is fucking persevering, man.
Yeah.
We did our first anniversary show in live, where we watched like a bunch of people watch my buddy sing, and then when he was done singing, like over half the room left because they were only there to see him.
It's okay. I was okay with that. I got to eat cake.
The people who stayed did
Yeah,
it at
that
a
was
good
our.
time and had cake.
It was my first taste of show business, but we had people come in from out of town that were up there with us. That was back when I was still doing 2 podcasts. So my buddies that I did the other show with, they came up because it was kind of like we were all connected in a way.
Yep.
So it was a fun little experience,
Yeah. Vanessa was saying today. She's like, y'all. I was talking about the 10th anniversary. She goes, y'all got to do another live show, and I'm like, you ain't wrong. Maybe if I start planning it now, I can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? In the next year. So we'll see how that all
I'm in
flows
town
forward.
for a live show.
Oh, I know your ass will. I ain't worried about it. It never was a concern, sir. But
yeah, man. We had the Thursday night recordings, then the Sunday morning recordings, then the Tuesday at work recordings, and then now we're on the Zoom Thursday night recordings, and
yeah. And like I said, we like I said, I find it. I don't know. Like I said, I truly find it interesting that we were just like, fuck it, let's keep this. We maintain. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't have an answer as to why. It's a good time. I love doing it. I love the people that I've met from it. Like I said, it's funny to get people hitting us up, and we get people where like it was. Mike Fowler was basically giving me a live commentary on this show, the show that went up today, and he was like, I will jump to our little chat. He was like, my fat ass loved his wing talk. So it's clearly he's just talking as he listens. Next, damn, y'all just smacking down Honey Sriracha. Next up, I, like Ant, hate this season of This Is Us. I had to stop watching. But my girl watched, and so I get the cliff notes from her. And this last season is way too depressing.
Yeah, everybody like last week, like I pounded my fist in sadness when they fucking killed Miguel off. Man,
Yeah. That's when I found out that happened, I was like, how the fuck they gonna do that? And I don't know, man. And then Vanessa was like, dang, they trying to make her a Black Widow. Her husband's dying off. I was like, oh shit, I hadn't even considered that. It's craziness, man.
It was this season definitely sucks. And I hate that they making Kate a fucking hero on this show. She has been the worst character to begin with. That's all I say, because this ain't about This Is Us this week.
Oh my goodness.
I think Gabe's. Oh, I thought Gabe was frozen because he didn't blink for like a solid minute.
No. Well, I gotta keep my head on a swivel. I'm in an area I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with being.
But you
ain't
in
nothing wrong with
Kansas
being
too,
ready. I mean, that shit all flat. So you should be able to get it. You should have you a good a good view. You know what I'm saying? Kansas is just the Badlands. It's just so flat. I know it's not the technical Badlands as that is, whatever, but it's all flat.
It's just for us. It's just a stop on the way to our destination because we couldn't drive straight through.
Man, so another thing. Remember, we used to do dollar store trivia, and Anthony had these cards that had like a robot and a boy on them. And we used to decorate the cards. Like we would take them and draw things on them before we sign them to send out with the prizes. I remember that was like a highlight every week of trying to figure out what we were going to draw. Like I remember we gave that robot like Nikes like so many different times.
And that's why Anthony's the creative director of this operation, because he could do shit like that. Because I would have never even thought to do it.
He's come up with several songs.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Songs and like it was very very Saturday Night Live in the 70s type vibe.
It's and maybe this is a part of it's a bit of a creative outlet. We make up show ideals and kind of ride out with them and so forth, and I like that. We do other shows. We don't do them by the boatload. We're actually going to link up next week. We actually are scheduled to link up next week and record some new We Trieds, which again we have not done in forever, and so that'll be fun. But like, I know a podcast is like we don't do it like we should, but I would say Ant and I already have an idea we're supposed to kick it. I just need to do it. I need to do my part of it and just get it done. So the podcast brand still exists. I still pay for the hosting for that shit. I pay for like super cheap hosting for it. Like it's like the lowest hosting I can pull off right now. But because I don't really post to it, but it exists. And so we came up with Building Boxes Bar, and though the pandemic took it from us, it existed, and we had such a good time with it. And like I was like, I don't know, man. I love that we would come through with these ideals and kind of make them happen.
I think one of the things I'm proud about though is the fact that like we've gone on this whole time and we've seen shows come after us that already are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If not anything, we're fucking persistent.
I'm talking to you, Hannibal Buress.
Yeah.
The Handsome Ramblers no more? I'll say where. Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Funny enough, I actually use Hannibal Buress as my avatar on Whatnot. Like the gif of like, why are you booing me? I'm right. Like he's like, I use that as my picture.
Oh my gosh. So that's like I said, the one thing that we discussed early on was that we would do it consistently. And I get this whole the notion of being consistent comes to me from this guy, Jeff Gerstmann. Jeff Gerstmann is the editor-in-chief over at GiantBomb.com. And they every week they make a podcast called The Giant Bombcast. And they simply have not missed a week. They took off a week for I want to say during the George Floyd protest when everybody was like, we are all going to take this day and shut the fuck up and try to listen to black people and so forth and so on. But that's the only time in the, I think, dozen or so years that the Giant Bombcast has existed that they took any time off. And so one thing he always said was be consistent, do the show, make sure your show is there every week. And I have tried to live by that. And like I said, I've tried to make sure we put a show out every week. And for a while there, we didn't miss. Now, eventually we came to a point where I was like, it's okay to miss. because we still put a show up. You know what I'm saying? We may not have recorded something fresh, but I would go. I went to the archives and pulled out something, or we, made shows that ended up getting split in two because it was so long. We was like, just split it in two, and we'll throw up half this week, and then throw the other half up next week, and we'll be fine. But you get a show every week, just without a doubt. I'm real adamant about that, and so that's been, I think, like I said, a thing that not a lot of motherfuckers can say. And I like that we can. You know what I'm saying? I take great pride in the fact that we out here and I'm serving these shits up. You know what I'm saying? We took this month off on Cadillac, and I was like, "You sure you want to do that, man? Like, me and Delta can record something, blah blah blah." But Charlie was like, "Nah," because it's his show, and I know he wants to make sure he is on it. But it's like, should have did
Well,
it.
his dog passed away. He's kind of
No. Cadillac happens. The way we record Cadillac, it would have happened before that happened.
Okay.
Yes. Since then, his dog has passed away, and that sucks. I'm saying, send some love to my man Chalfie on the loss of his puppy dog Gidget. R.I.P. She crossed that rainbow bridge, and that was basically him and his wife's like first child. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not. Never get it twisted. I'm not that kind of guy who considers animal children, but it was their first, being that they came up with and brought up together as a couple. You know what I'm saying? And so it holds a special place in their hearts. And 15 years old, the dog had a good life. A good long life. So
Thanks to the show, 5 years ago, we went to Washington D.C. together.
I was gonna bring it up. Gabe couldn't go. Unfortunately, he had a loss in his family, so he had to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But I like telling that story. So
All right, go ahead,
again,
tell it. Make me feel sad.
T's creative weirdness is that it was 5 years ago. So what would have been our second or third anniversary or something like that?
Oh, it would have been our fourth.
Yeah, however math works.
I mean, we're reminiscing about 9 right now.
So basically, we were going to go to the place that gave us the third or fourth most downloads, which was the Hagerstown area of Maryland. For whatever reason, internet traffic of the DMV runs through Hagerstown. Just a weird thing that happened on Lipson back in the day. I don't think it does that anymore. So I was like, fuck it, let's drive to Hagerstown and we'll record a show at like a Cracker Barrel or something.
Before you continue, for those listening, I want you to know, Lipson used to give a map telling you where your downloads, like any state you had to download in at any point or anything like that. He used to watch that fucking map like a hawk because there was like 2 states that were holding out for the longest time.
Yeah. Still bothers me. And so, it was, just for whatever on that particular tip, in 2017, Lipson reset everything. So anything before 2017 is gone. It still states now that I'm trying to get. Damn. I had to stop looking at that shit because
I think at one point you had even suggested driving to them states ourselves just so you could download our own show to get it.
It's how I got my download in Vermont because we went to Maine, for my man Alicia's wedding, and I downloaded an episode there, so that's how I ended up getting Vermont. I know that download was me. But eventually we had managed to get like all 50 states, and I was like, even now I'm still just crestfallen that that's not a thing that exists anymore. But let me see if I can go back to November of 2017 is when they, like I said, they changed the measures up. I'll click run.
Whoa.
And if I click on the United States right now, we have no love from this section of the country, which is Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. No love.
Well, if I stop there.
But every other state has given us some action, including Hawaii and Alaska, which that touches my soul. And currently, the great state of Ohio is still our number 1 guy, but Cali is number 2. Oregon is now our current number 3. Virginia is number 4. Florida number 5. No, New York number 5. Florida number 6. And like our where we bang our most downloads from. But anyway, so we are going to drive to Hagerstown, Maryland, the place of our 3rd or 4th most downloads, whatever it was. It matched up with the number our show anniversary kind of vibe. But as we were getting there and nearing Hagerstown, you kept seeing signs for DC. I'm like, I mean, DC right there, y'all. And I think I'd either recently been to DC or hadn't been to DC. I don't know. Or maybe that was my first trip to DC. I don't recall. But we just said, fuck it. Let's drive out. We drove down the road to DC.
And the main thing we were looking for is like, all right, since we're going to DC, we have to find somewhere to eat.
Yep. And Aunt found a restaurant called Ted's Bulletin that made in-house Pop-Tarts, which is, I think, the main draw for us. That's why we was like, fuck it, we got to go do there. And we recorded an episode at Ted's Bulletin with the mobile recorder, and we had a dope server and a good time. And he got on and told us about. We said we were like, hey, we're recording a show. I mean, you want to say anything? And he's like, oh yeah, I am. I believe he said he was a rapper or a singer in addition to his serving duties. And it was a good time and a great meal. And every time I go to DC now, I go to Ted's Bulletin still. I hope Ted's Bulletin is still around when next I travel to DC. I still go to Ted's Bulletin to this day. And I've been to DC many a time since that trip to DC. And
that
so
guy that served us was Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my gosh.
That ride home was fucking rough.
It was because we were not supposed to do that. And like I said, that is one of the things that gave us the wisdom to know overnights. No more. Yep. That's not a one-day trip.
Well, the thing about it was when I was younger, I didn't have overnight money. So it was my natural reaction was to tough it out and push through because then I'd be saving money. Yeah. As I got older and like I became more settled, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to fucking drive through one bloodshot eye at 4:00 in the morning anymore. Yeah. I'll just fucking pay the $80 for a bed. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. And I guess another thing we can say as time has went on, I mean, we all grew up as people too. Like, we found ourselves and are like, different people than when we started. Like, I'm happy with the person I am now. I'm not disappointed in that Anthony back then, but I think I'm in a pretty good space as far as like, you know, different things in life, and I got to thank you guys for some of those things.
Well, glad to be part of that.
Exactly. It's dope to be a part of each other's growth as people and into better men. I truly think we are all better men because I think we've learned as time has passed about all kinds of things and how the world acts and people react and so forth and so on. So I think it's okay. Like I said, we on this show, you come to this show, it ain't never no what's that motherfucker who died? Ain't no Kevin Samuels type talk coming this way. It's just not. It's not our vibe. We don't do that. We're not a bunch of misogynists. We're not assholes. And also, we just not. I mean, I guess maybe I could talk shit about women and I could get popular, but I wouldn't want that. Plus, none of these motherfuckers would let me do that. No, not a one of them. They'd be like, "What the fuck is you doing, bruv?" So
I did talk greasy about Jada Pinkett Smith a couple a month back, but that's just my personal gripe.
Yeah,
I don't hate women in general, but I like them.
Yeah, that's what's up.
We did stop. Yeah. We did try and stop using the word bitch so much.
We never really used it for women, though.
Yeah,
it was for like inanimate objects and people, and inanimate objects and men. Sorry.
Yeah. I think bitch is just universal. It's unisex.
Yeah, I think you know, when if I do say bitch, because I don't think I say it very much because I know you know, my kids might repeat me. Like, let's light this bitch up, or man, let me get a sip of that bitch. It's usually, it's not usually like talking about you know, a woman in any sense. And even
Yeah.
not even
The
usually not even
females.
like a derogatory term unless I say ain't that now
Yeah.
that's different.
It's more of a back up in this bitch again kind of situation for us. You know what I'm saying? We just like it's not really
We we own it, bitch. We taking it back. We taking it back to where it belongs. Positive bitches.
positive bitches. That's your show title. That one wrote itself real fast, didn't it? I'll have to, of course, censor it, but
We don't.
Exclamation point.
But yeah, we're not like these females and women be shopping and all that shit. It's we
Yeah,
did make a we did make up a what was it, a Hotep Wordsworth from the Junkyard Cats in Heathcliff.
I probably shop more than any woman on earth. Probably. I like every Thursday except this. Well, I haven't really been lately. I've been trying to chill. But I go to the Habitat for Humanity store every Thursday, so I can look for certain things that I need around the house. And I need like an entryway table, but I'm like, I'm not spending any. I'm trying not to spend any money right now, so I haven't gone in there.
I think you've gotten the point, and that is that we fuck with each other.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We are proud. We are proud of the effort we have placed into doing this show for you each week. It may not be the giantest show, the biggest show in the world, but I promise you, I'm okay with that. It is less about our listenership and more about me kicking it with my homies every week through good, bad, and indifferent. That's what makes this special. Like my man Box said, we
Maybe one day we'll be like Jazz, like we'll be the influence of like some great podcasters 50 years from now. It's like, yeah, that motherfucking Gabe was right, and that's where I
or
get that's where I get
or
my tone from.
or we'll like be like the inspiration for another show that'll actually make it big, and
Yeah,
then they'll invite us to like do like a feature, and then when we get introduced to their audience, they'll be like, "Oh man, look at those people! That, like, look at this artist bringing up new people." It'll be like that Super Bowl halftime show where they had Missy Elliott do like a little cameo, and then on
yeah.
Twitter, people are like, "Oh, this artist has such a good heart, bringing this woman on stage for her big break." Like Missy ain't been big for the last 20 years all on her own.
Oh my
That'll
god.
be us, except it will kind of be like our own big break.
yeah, we'll inspire the next Beatles over in the UK somewhere.
Well, what has been fun and interesting to see is posting an Emmett asshole on TikTok as often as we can, and watching those videos either tank or not necessarily blow up like, oh, we went viral, but go get numbers that you're like, okay, respectful. And so, and have people comment. Like I said, people don't comment on this show. People do. That's a lie. I just told you people comment on this show, but people don't comment as often as you would like, as you think they would. People on TikTok have a habit of wanting to at least say, no, that person's not an asshole, or yes, that person is, and this is why, which is kind of fun.
That was one of the things that I had to learn to accept when we first started doing this,
Mm.
because like you want to hear feedback because you want to know someone's listening to give you like reason to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like we had some, but like it was only a few people, and I came to realize over the years that like even I don't be like commenting on shit that I listen to. So how can I expect other people to do that? So like I appreciate the feedback or the interaction we do get from people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like it's always a trip to me when like someone will tell me that they like listen to the show, or they'll try and talk to me about it, or like you'll get like a tweet out of the blue, that you weren't expecting, and it's like someone like genuinely excited to listen to something that you helped create. It's very rewarding.
Yeah. It really is. Which is, I promise you, which is why this very week I've been listening to Black Guy Tips forever. It is. I'm not joking when I tell you the Godfather of this show. This show don't work. It don't exist without that show existing. But I've been listening to it on Spotify, And on Spotify, it has a lot of interactivity because they host on a service called Anchor, and Anchor has hooks that reach back into Spotify. It's real cool shit. I want you to know
The
that.
show also doesn't exist without a Paper Champion podcast.
Sir, that is a given, and we know.
I know, but you know that, but they don't know that.
Oh well, hey, well, yeah, I'll tell you that story here shortly. But I made a point this week to try to comment on their shows when I had the opportunity or had something to say, and I thought do that because you want people to comment on you, and you know what comments do. Now, of course, that's a big show, and my comment probably don't mean shit, but it might. And so I made a
You
point
never
to
know
say,
until you try.
correct. I made a point to say, let me at least make a couple of comments.
Like they're quasi famous
Yeah.
at this point, and like Karen was on our show like back in like the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 episode 24.
Yeah, 24 karat golden or whatever.
24 Karen Gold, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so we had like someone quasi famous on the show at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And oddly enough, I have it will seem dumb to you. I'm supposed to been asked Carl to be on the show. Carl has said he would do the show. Carl Tart show just got his second season today. So he get a second season of Grand Crew is coming. Carl Tart is in the process of blowing the fuck up. I want y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? My man was writing on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Probably some of the shit you thought was the funniest was a Carl Tart bar. I want you to know that, you know what I'm saying? But that's the guy I talked to. Me and Aunt both talked to with a bit of regularity. And like I said, he's supposed to do the show. Our local weather person said she would do the show. I just need to reach out and say, hey, let's do the show. I have this nervousness, and I will come to it, of rejection. Just been that way forever. It's why I didn't date in high school. Rejection is a scary ass thing to worry about. It truly is. And so I worry that these people would say, nah, I ain't fucking with you. And so I have a habit of not reaching out and asking people. And I've had people tell me, hey, bro, I've been wanting to get down with y'all show. Why ain't you ask me? And it's like, because in my mind, you're saying, no, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to fuck with y'all.
I think too, like, because there's been four of us, like it was like reaching out to ask people to do the show wasn't like something that we did for a long time because we had like a formula with like assigned bits and stuff. It wasn't really like a guest appearance thing. We weren't like a quote unquote interview show.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think we ever really thought to like just bring people in to have them join in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I gotta be better about that, and I gotta just sack up, or I gotta have y'all do it. One of y'all motherfuckers do it.
We should put out a blanket tweet to be like, any of y'all want to like do this? You know?
See, then I worry about who will respond.
Yeah, I might get some of the people I argue with responding and wanting to do this.
Well, maybe me or Dan should do it. Since we can't. But we had Ashley 3 Classy on.
Yeah. My man Aaron, you know what I'm saying? Word life. Like I said, we have had some heads on. Like I said, and I always put respect on people who have come through and shown love. Like I said, that motherfucker was in the house. He came through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My man Aaron came through.
And to
that
me,
was one of the only episodes my mother ever listened to. And we talked about strippers for a long time on the episode.
And to me, like, Seth Macy's famous. And I talked to Seth, like, he's just like, you know, that's Seth.
Yeah.
I don't talk to him like he's famous, you know?
It's funny to me because I've known Seth since before Seth was anybody. We knew each other back in we used to call into a podcast called What Up Yours back in the day, or it became the Oddcast. And the Oddcast is where I linked up basically with my man Balsrog. And Balsrog is who put me on to Chris, you know what I'm saying? And so forth and so on. It's like it just starts spinning. It's like it's fun to watch. Like I said, I made a ton of friends off this show. Not made friends because of the show, but I have interacted with people because of this show. And like I said, Nick Jew used to call in from Oakland, California to the Black Guy Who Tips. And we ended up becoming Twitter mutuals. And Nick Jew is one of my favorite people in the world. Like hands down. Like I have gone to Poughkeepsie to kick it with Nick Jew. My family has met her. They love her. She shows love to my kids when they have events in life. You know what I'm saying? That's the homie. And I like that they're saying, yes, that is a podcast, internet homie, but like I said, it's a homie nonetheless. We have April, who means the fucking world to me as a listener who is always out there looking out for us. You know what I'm saying? She constantly retweets the show. She constantly reaches out to us on Instagram and shit. You know what I'm saying? She when she wrote she snagged her kid's phone to write us an Apple podcast review because she uses an Android phone. And
Yeah,
so
she's like one of the sweetest people to like ever exist.
one of the snacks we're gonna try on We Tried on the We Tries we're going next week is something she got off our Amazon wish list.
She's like what you want out of humanity.
Yeah, exactly. So I go up for her. Just like I said, if you trust me, if you have reached out to me or any of us and shown love to the show and said, "Hey, I find something that you do interesting," I am eternally grateful, and I've taken that to my heart, and it's why again, it's what you want. The answer to my own question. You know why I do this show every week? Because it's people like y'all. It is. Y'all have said, man, something you said about Ohio made me, a person in New York, say, huh, that's interesting. And it's good to know there's people in Ohio who are not, Floridians.
Well, Cleveland's
so,
like its own little section of Ohio that's different from the rest.
Very much so. And so.
And we both got a Miami.
Yeah.
Do we? What's our Miami? Oh, yeah, we do have a Miami.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio.
There's definitely no beaches going on there. Probably some attractive ladies. That's a college town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
They make their own beaches.
But like I said, that is if you've ever wondered, hey man, why did that man ask me to be on my show? Trust me, it is me being in my own head and worrying about being rejected and not taking that well, and that's my fault. But if you have been on the show, think about it. I got over my own ass and made it a point to reach out to you and ask you to come be a part of this. That's me dealing with some old psychological shit to have you enjoy my clip. You know what I'm saying?
Stepping out of his comfort zone.
The sword beep exists because my man Seth Macy told a story on a podcast about how him and his buddies ran out to buy the Wu-Tang Forever CD, and they got it from Walmart. And of course, that was back in the day when Walmart edited CDs. And so, if you can imagine, the first song of that album goes, "It's Wu motherfucker, Wu-Tang motherfucker." But when they played it, it was, "It's Wu Shang / Wu-Tang Ching / That's where our sword beep comes from. He told that story, and I was like, oh, going forward, whenever I have to beep something out the show, I'm using the sword / That is, it's a hilarious gag. You know what I'm saying?
Canon.
It is. That if you ever wonder how it became canon. Me rapping on the show, people are gonna be like, "Great, you got that from the Black Eyed Tips." Truly, I did not. I promise you, I did not. One day, we were sitting at lunch at Susie Soup's in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Don't know if it exists anymore because truly, I don't know what exists in that mall no more.
I think that's one of the last things in there.
And I had set the recorder up, and I believe we were waiting on Gabriel to arrive. He was on his way here. He was probably having to find parking, but I'd already probably started recording because it's like we got to get the show running. Because at lunchtime, we basically had an hour, even though it was always like 90 minutes. And I was just sitting there, and I was singing "G's Up, Hoes Down." 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Stupid doggy dog and dog. No, that's not. That's the wrong song. It is
and I put on my khaki suit. We call it the blue
Which one? Which one? The blue one. Gun by my side as I mob through the beach on a mission as I'm fishing for my DJ Warren G. So I'm singing this song, and then Anthony knows the song, which I didn't know Anthony knew the song. I don't know why I wouldn't have thought Anthony knew the song, and he just chimes in with me and starts rapping along with me, and it filled my heart with glee. And I was like, going forward, I rap. Every week I'm spitting somebody's flows. Sometimes Anthony knows them. Oftentimes he does not. But when he knows it, he be in on that shit. And I respect it. And I love it. I appreciate it.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time. G's Up, Hoes Down. And yeah, that is the song that's like not on the album anymore.
Yeah, they got off about by the Isaac Hayes
Sample.
management for that sample, and which is some bullshit because he let other people use that Look of Love sample since then. But whatever. And I want it on vinyl, but to get it on vinyl requires me to buy an original pressing of Doggy Style, and that is wildly prohibitively expensive. But one day, I'm gonna cop that shit just so I can spin. Ladies and gents, players and pimps, listen. That's how that song starts. Snoop Doggy Dogg is on the mic. Pay attention. 1, 2, or what shall I do? I'm slipping on my khaki suit. Which one?
The blue one. Yeah, and yeah, I remember that. I am very like I said before, like I'm much more of a dad now, and like I don't really get to listen to new music, which T gets to just soak and bathe in bathe in music, and I don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like right now we're listening to like a not the Diary of the Wimpy Kid, but gosh, it's by the same dude, and it's like the Rowley books. Because the Diary of
Ah,
the Wimpy Kid is like too hardcore for my 7-year-old. You be talking about like girls and shit, and uh, that
So
shit too
it's more
wild.
like Diary of a Pimpy Kid.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Might be your alt title, might become your real title. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, can we have one of them?
Ah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I can tell you that I miss the Susie Soup recordings. Like that era for what we were doing. I like going down there, getting a bowl of soup and a grilled cheese sandwich, drinking some tea, having people stare at us because we were doing it in the middle of a fucking restaurant. Where it was like the grandmas who would go do the penny slots would go eat their lunch.
We always tried to hang in the back of the corner so we weren't like in the midst of, you know what I'm saying? We always try to do our part to be okay. God, just think my mouth is got my mouth all ready for hash. I want one of them damn grilled cheese with turkey on it right now. God damn.
I mean, you could call ahead. I think it's probably still open. I mean, you could probably grab it for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, like when we used to go over to the Huntington building, it was similar, but it wasn't the same.
That place went through transitions like we did. It was multiple different restaurants and different menus and people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember the one lady who would often take lunch around the same time, and I swear I mean, she probably was forced to take lunch at that time,
Yeah.
but as time went on, she sat closer and closer to us.
She was definitely gravitating toward our recording sessions. And I
Yeah,
think I always thought it amusing that this woman just like either we're saying something real fun and funny or she just wants to see what we up to. Like, what are
yeah.
these motherfuckers doing? Holy shit, man. These things, people, these days. All right. I've probably given you enough blah blah yakety schmacky about this show, and I'll probably have to do it again in a year. So I might as well just start to punch out. But you know what it is? I gotta give you them an asshole. That's a big part of the show. And has been for a very long time. Motherfuckers.
2 years.
So each week we head over to the mean streets of Reddit. We pull one down for you and we knock it out. So this week it is, am I the asshole for not giving up my second free quote seat next to me in the plane? Am I the asshole for not giving up my second free seat next to me in the plane? I am obese. Like, I am comfortable having two seats in the plane type of obese. I am well aware of that, and I literally don't like to bother people with my weight. A week ago, I was going to a conference by plane, and because I was going alone, usually I fly with my boyfriend, I don't buy two since he sits next to me. I bought two seats. I fit in one, but my side is usually touching the person next to me, and I feel uncomfortable for them. It happened to me that they gave me nasty looks, and I felt extremely uncomfortable the whole flight. So I sat down in the plane and put the armrest up so I would be really comfortable. Some couple came and they both sat next to me because they got separate seats and they noticed the seat next to me was empty. Exactly what I was afraid of happened. My side kept touching the one guy next to me, and he even pushed me a bit when he moved into the seat. I was feeling extremely uncomfortable and asked him if he could go to his seat because I bought this one for my comfort. He told me no, since the seat is empty and he wants to be with his girlfriend. Well, I told him I understand, but I feel uncomfortable and I paid for the second seat. So exactly this doesn't happen. He refused again and started to chat with his girlfriend. I caught the flight attendant and quietly told her what is happening, and she asked the guy to leave my second seat, and he and his girlfriend gave me a nasty look. The girlfriend mumbled something like, "fucking fat bitch," under her breath,
Shit.
but nothing directly to me. So am I the asshole for insisting on him to leave?
No, you
No,
paid for
man.
that seat, right?
Damn right.
Yeah. Usually this would have got the Anthony rule. You know you weren't an asshole, but my heart just feels so much for this person that the Anthony rule has been
It
This
feels
week and
like
this week only.
it
No
feels like
Anthony rule.
she's just a nice person and doesn't want to like inconvenience others, even like
Yeah.
at the cost of her own happiness.
Mhm.
Correct.
And in this case, no, fuck that. You paid for 2 seats. You take your 2 seats. Fuck that, dude.
Correct.
And like, and these people clearly like are on this plane, like not planning well. Like maybe we're doing like standby shit, like trying to snake cheap seats. Like, no, fuck them. No come ups on your dime.
Exactly. You paid for the seat. It's your seat. Fuck him. He lucky you didn't catch him in the throat with some nasty. Because I would have punched a motherfucker. If I tell you to move and you don't, after I explain to you I bought this seat, it could be a problem real fast. And that's because I'm a dude, and I know I have that dudely privilege, and I apologize for saying this woman should have struck this man, just because I would have. But yeah, I don't play that. I came out the pocket for a motherfucking reason. It is for my comfort, not yours. Eat a bag of dicks. Get the fuck on. Go sit where you got to sit at, and leave me and my seat be. Please and thank you. I feel so terrible for this person that they had to go through that, but I feel good that they stood up for themselves. I feel even better that they stood up for themselves and didn't take that bullshit. And all they could do is mumble at them, because that's all they could do, because they was wrong.
Eat 2 bags of dicks, not pop chips.
I'm trying to scroll.
I don't know
and see
what
if
they
I see
serve
any.
on flights nowadays.
Oh, pop chips. My man's right. If you're on Delta, you'll get the Biscoff cookies.
I like Biscoff cookies.
I do.
I usually fly Frontier, so I don't get anything.
You get what you pack in your bag. Just a couple of cheese sticks and a water.
I usually don't bring anything, so I never have anything.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
usually
God.
just keep my mask on and not worry about eating for a couple hours.
Hey, that's what's up. I don't see any glow in the dark comments, so let's just go with a random comment. And that is not the asshole. They tried to take something you paid for and then were rude to you. It's a bit shocking, really, considering the number of people who comment on social media that larger people should have to buy 2 seats. Please don't feel bad about yourself because they chose to be horrid and entitled.
Exactly.
Just so we have it, I must say, this is from the OP. I must say I flew several times with just 1 seat since there were not 2 available, and I always apologized to the person next to me, and it was never an issue. They were usually nice and told me not to worry about it. So I'm mostly I get it. This person is of the mindset, and who knows, maybe they've been medically called obese. But I feel like if they have sat comfortably in 1 seat in the past and have decided going forward 2 seats is the move, then that's okay for them. And that's what's up. So that was this week's I'm the Asshole. So, I mean, yeah, that's all I wanted to do this week. I didn't really want to talk about anything else.
This is where if we were a TV show, this is where you would start pumping in the shit that we filmed for next season that's coming. Pow, 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 pow. Car chase. Pow, 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 pow. Pregnancy. Pow, 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 pow. Oh, it's raining. What happened?
No more pregnancy.
Well, not in this country. Anyway, we'll come back around next week. We'll give you a standard. we'll give you a standard operation, nothing to it. Don't worry about it, man. It's a breezy vibe. It's easy. I love you all. I am grateful that you come each week to do the show with me and sit down and shoot the breeze with me. I'm grateful when we get together to just try some soda like we're gonna do next week. It's okay. I don't have too much soda. I have the Circle K exclusive. I forgot what flavor it is, but I got it.
I have 2 different flavors of Korean Oreos.
Yeah, man. So we got some, and like I said, I got a whole bag of crunchy Japanese snacks. Like I said, April got those off our list. I also have, if you can see this came directly from the Podfather while on the road. This is birthday cake fruity. Remember the fruity carrot? They had a birthday cake version.
Oh man.
So
speaking my language.
Got a few things to try next week. So we'll probably shamble through.
I hope you like it.
2 or 3 quick episodes of We Try for you, the patrons. Speaking of which, you know what I'm saying? Now this rigmarole you do get, and that is, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show wherever possible. Hit us up on subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to us over on Twitter, subscribe to us over on Twitch, subscribe to us on TikTok. Again, I'm pressing this TikTok shit. I'm wanting what I want to actually happen is I want our TikTok numbers to keep growing. But at the end of each one of them TikTok videos is you want to hear the rest or you want to hear more, it says go listen to this episode of this show. It's right there every time because I want that to be a transition. I want that to come back around and feed this. And then I want to just kind of work that way. That's what I want to be. I want this to feed that and that to feed this.
Did we put those on YouTube too?
I don't, but I was actually just thinking about it the other day. I was like, I might as well just put them up. They're not short enough to be considered shorts, but I put them on Instagram. Why not put them on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? So I've actually have been saying I should start doing that, and I might as well just get down with the get down. If you got some money and you're thinking I fuck with these guys the long and the short way, then we have a Patreon. Not a big giant Patreon. I try to throw up at least a show a month, and you get like I said, early access to new shows and extra content that you get at the various tiers of the Patreon. We have a $1 tier, which basically is you helping out the cause. Put $1 on it. Promise you right now, it's dope. And every now and again, I do throw something to the $1 tier, just because I'm like, you in here supporting us. I gotta help.
Look at us and say, I'd buy that for $1.
Thank you. I should change the name of that tier to I'd buy that for $1. It's currently, I believe it's called Let Me Hold Something. Let me see what that. Let me see what that tier is called. Again, this is when it's T's creativity, not Anthony's creativity. So, yeah, the $1 tier is called Let Me Hold Something. The $5 tier is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. And the $10 a month level is called You Get a Podcast, You Get a Podcast, You All Get Podcasts. Because at that level, you can listen to our older episodes that aren't available because when we switched over. So when we started adding the show, when Spotify became an option, Spotify had very tight rules that says if you got music on your show, it can't be on here. And we didn't want to violate that and get booted off of Spotify or anything like that there. So I had to pull down a good 200 episodes early in our life that are, now just sitting on my computer waiting for you to jump in at the $10 and above level. And, that way you can hear our way back catalog. So if you want to get down with that, like I said, that's how you do that. So like I said, holler at us over on Patreon if you got some dollars, man. We also have merch available at tpublic.com/user/stage Krunchy and Milk, all one word. Remember, Krunchy is, of course, spelled with a K. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. Promise you, we'd certainly love to hear from you. These are my best friends. I don't say that jokingly. I don't say that as some kind of nonsense. Literally, these are people I have traveled the globe with, or at least the continent. But the globe is a part of that, so I'm going to count it. I have watched...
T and I have slept together.
I slept right next to this man, and I worry not about it. It was ass to ass. That is how we had to sleep.
There was no spoons involved. We were two big spoons, and our were up against each other.
I would like to think you guys were like Ren and Stimpy doing the happy, happy, joy, joy dance.
I can't call it. I don't know that. I don't know that reference. I don't
Just-
get that reference.
They're just bumping butts. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy,
It's the
happy,
bump.
joy.
Right on, right on. Well, amongst these men is Tatum 216,
Yeah.
aka
formerly
Chesterfield
known-
Rockwell.
Yep. That was it.
It's Lunchbox 2099, who has always been Lunchbox 2099. I pronounce it. I know you're thinking, what is it? Is it not Spider-Man 2099? My nigga told me it was 2099, and I pronounce it like he told me it was. That's just what
Some
it is.
respect on his name.
I mean, like when I was a kid, no one narrated the Spider-Man comic to me, so in my mind it was just 2099.
There you go. I immediately went to 2099. I just thought that's how my mind worked on it. But I hear you. I see you, and I respect you for it. My man right here is Gabe. We call him the real ODP. Once upon a time, he was the Skim Podfather. He's been all sorts of things and all sorts of names. And
I feel like
We
at
go-
this point he's kind of stolen Anthony's old moniker of the man with 1,000 nicknames.
Maybe.
Like the devil, I
Oh,
go
my
by many
God.
names.
we gonna give it up to his wife this week because it was her doing basically a tech rehearsal with me early in the day today to make this show run like it is currently running, and so we are grateful to Mrs. The Real ODP for that, and her and their children giving me shouts out as we rode along. So
I got a very supportive spouse. As I've said some things about her on the show, just griping because that's what men do sometimes with their spouses. They gripe, but I love her and she's very supportive and always has my back.
there you go.
It's a shame she'll never hear any of that.
But if you know, you know, and that's not sometimes
Yeah.
that is all that matters.
Yeah, he just radiates it.
Our old producer is still my lady, and she still is our editor. She edits
My lady.
our video. She's our video editor. We used to call her the fantastic Mrs. X. Ms. X. I don't know if it's Mrs. Anthony, what was it?
Was there something behind that?
Yeah, we didn't want to just say her name right off the bat.
Yeah.
Before it was like cemented in officiality.
So, her name is Vanessa. And she still edits every video you ever see in this operation. It's a video, she did it.
And
Hands
fucking
down.
shout out to Jinx.
The homie who is right now over in her little dog, or is she on the couch? I don't see her in the dog bed, so she might be on my couch because she always stays down here until I go to bed, and then she goes up and breaks into Xander's room.
Jinx, the motherfucking pod dog. Rest in peace to all those we've lost along the way.
R.I.P. Smokey,
Yes.
yay, and many others, and
Bunch of
so forth and so
chickens
on.
and bunch of chickens and
Those are nice guinea pigs. and shit
guinea
in there,
pigs.
too.
R.I.P. Peanut.
An adopted dog that was quickly given back up for adoption.
Oh no!
It was part of the lore.
Was there a
It was.
dog that I missed?
Didn't they adopt
Yeah,
a dog from Florida?
Frida Coco.
Yeah.
She attacked our other dog, so we couldn't have that.
Oh man, I respect that.
Quite. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah. So it's a lot of history here. There's a lot of love here, and it goes down like that. So happy birthday to we. Oh, as I told you, I am the Internet's Tayrell 713. Is that I belong to the Internet when I am Tayrell 713. These guys just call me T because that's who I am.
Or
I
sweet
call you
tea.
Tyrell sometimes.
Well, you do because you're respecting the show. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You ain't calling me Tayrell in the streets. You ain't gonna walk up on me, hey Tayrell. You know what I'm saying? No, you gonna say T Diddy
No,
in
I
the
don't
fam.
do
That's
that.
the word. All right, and I'm glad you murdered that bug. Fuck that net. How dare him roll up on you?
Get in my face. I would do it to a man
You
if
have
he
just
did it to
been-
me.
Oh, here I'll take you. I'll take you this one too. So there used to be a podcast that Tig Notaro did called. Oh, what was it called? Fuck. Either
The
way.
Tig Notaro show?
No. They it was called some kind of spaceship podcast. I can't remember what the name of that podcast was. It was Tig Notaro and her couple of friends, and they ended that podcast saying, "You've just been podcasted to," which is where I got that from. Now she stopped doing that show years ago. Again, we have beat her out. We've even beat out famous people. I want you to know that, including Hannibal Buress and Tig Notaro. So you have just been podcasted to. My addition to that is, and I know you loved it. And then I chuck these deuces and I say peace.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a great.
What happened